It's Mary Rice again. I'm just getting ready for my husband to come home from a business trip, and I want to fix something really good for him to eat. You know, I don't know if you travel or if you have a spouse that travels like I do, but getting from point A to point B usually is a full day job, and it seems like it doesn't matter what time he comes home. In the evening, he's usually wanting something to eat, and I like to have something a little special for him when he gets home. So I thought I'd fix one of his favorite dishes today. And I thought, you know, I might as well just go ahead and videotape it and submit it because it's a really good recipe. I use Philadelphia cream cheese, onion, and chive in it. I don't really have a fancy name for it. I'm going to call it fettuccine pie. One of his favorite dishes is chicken fettuccine, so I'm going to show you how I make it. Since I'm my own cameraman today, I already have some things ready, and I just want to show you what I've got. I've cooked my fettuccine noodles already till al dente, about 8 minutes, and I have them in this pan. I put 2 tablespoons of melted butter in there and stirred them so they wouldn't stick while I was making my sauce. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make kind of a crust out of the noodles and make it like a pie. So in this bowl I have 2 eggs that I've slightly beaten, and I'm going to add my hot noodles to that along with a half a cup of shredded Parmesan cheese. So I'm going to put my noodles in there and mix that all up so I can make my crust for my pie. So you just mix that until you get it all incorporated. And I thought I'd do a fun thing today. I thought that instead of just a regular pie pan or a square pan, I'd put this in a heart-shaped pan so I can just show my sweetheart how glad I am that he's coming home. So I've got my noodles all mixed up, and I'm going to spray my heart-shaped pan with some non-stick spray. And I'm going to put my noodles in there. And I usually use this in a bigger pan, so I'm going to see if they'll fit or not. I don't usually put them in this smaller heart-shaped pan. But what you do is you just kind of squish them down in the bottom and up the sides of the pan so it'll make like a crust to put your topping in. So I think I'll just leave them all in there. They'll probably be alright. There you go. Now for the sauce, I've made an alfredo type sauce, and I put together a cup of heavy whipping cream, a cup of milk, a half a cup of shredded Parmesan cheese, and 4 ounces of the Philadelphia cream cheese, onion, and chive, and I've got that in a pan right here. It makes just a really awesome sauce. It's so creamy with that cream cheese in it. So what I do to that is I add my chicken. I've got some cooked cubed up chicken, probably about 1.5 cups or so. And I'm going to put in about 2 tablespoons of red onion, or purple onion I call them. And I'm going to put in about 3/4 cup of diced tomatoes. I'm going to stir that all up. And then I'm going to put it in my pie shell. Alrighty, it's looking good. Oh, one more thing. I like to add a little bit of nutmeg when I make Alfredo sauce. I think it gives it just a little something extra. Sounds like my oven's ready. So I'm going to spoon this in to my crust and just kind of pat it down around there. Fill it up. Oh, he's going to be so excited when he gets home and sees what's for supper. This is one of his favorite dishes, and you know, I was saving this story for if I became a finalist and Paula asked me what my favorite meal was and why. When I first started seeing my husband, we've only been married about 7 years. I know I look like an old woman, but I'm kind of a newlywed. So on our first Valentine's Day, he surprised me. I was supposed to go over to his house and make him some supper and be there when he got home from the airport. Well, what he did was he hid his vehicle and he was already there, so he surprised me. But he'd called me up and was kind of hassling me on my way over there, wondering if I was there yet, if I was cooking yet, and, you know, giving me a hard time. And I was almost in tears because, you know, we had only been going together a few months and I wanted to make such a good impression and get over there and get his fettuccine alfredo made for him. So anyway, when I finally got there with my big vase of roses that he'd sent me, I wanted to bring those along so I could put them on the table. So I opened the door, and there on the table was a candle burning. And I know I just stood there looking like, my brain couldn't even figure out what was going on. I didn't even see him sitting there, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is so stupid, but I was thinking, surely that candle hasn't been burning the whole time he's been gone on his trip. So anyway, he said something to me and I saw him and it registered in my mind what he'd done. So anyway, it wasn't that the food was so great for that meal, but I'll never forget that because, you know, when they start going out with you, sometimes they're romantic and, you know, you got to treasure those moments because after you get married, they're a lot fewer and more far between. But anyway, that was one of my favorite meals, and it was my favorite dish. Two, after that, was fettuccine alfredo. So I decided to make this in my sweetheart pan today. And all I'm going to do now is put on a little bit more onion on top. Kind of dress it up a little bit and make it pretty. And then I'm going to bake it for, about 30-35 minutes. You got to kind of watch it so your noodles don't get too done on top. So put a little bitty one there in the middle of that one. Now that looks good. Okay, I'm going to stick this in the oven and I'll come back and show you what it looks like. And in the meantime, while it's baking, I think I might just go paint my toenails red. So I'll see you ladies in about a half an hour. Well, this is the finished product. I think it turned out pretty well. You know, my love language is cooking or baking something for somebody, and I know that most of you ladies in this contest, you are in this contest because that's your love language too. You know, when you do something just a little bit different and, you know, a little special to show them that you really care about them, it does mean a lot to them, whether they'll tell you that or not. So I'm hoping that this will be enough to butter my husband up, not to fuss about editing my videos that I've made since he's been gone. So thanks for watching my video, and until next time, I'm Mary Rice.